Hello, hello. Hey,
morning.
everybody. Good morning.
Fresh off the struggle bus, I'm gonna give you this one.
Okay, cool.
We will share. Welcome to City Monks.
Welcome, welcome.
How's everybody today? Okay.
This one back and
Oh,
forth.
yeah, this one.
Okay, cool.
We'll let you have your own.
All right, cool.
We
cool.
will adjust for the thing. We'll let you do your thing. This is our friend Andrew and his beautiful wife Keisha's out here on the side, joining us. Our very first, well, no, not first, second special guest. As you can see here on the bottom, some of Andrew's artwork, and we will get into that momentarily. But we just want to say hello and thank you for tuning in. It has been a phenomenal week for us. We have been walking, as we always do, around the streets, running into beautiful brothers and sisters, and exchanging love and stories, and just trying to be beautiful people of God, Today we are going to talk intermittently about thankfulness and different aspects of what thankfulness means, and we're going to talk to our brother Andrew, and we'll have a nice little conversation here.
Yeah. This week, Michael and I were talking, we're like, what are we going to talk about this week? What are we going to talk about this week? And as many of you know, our shows are unscripted. They really are raw. It really is live. What you see is what you get. I just stepped into the studio just a few moments ago. This is real life, and this is the life that we live, and this is the path that we're walking. And so thankfulness is a huge part of it. It's a huge part of our lives, and it's a huge part of the way that things happen in our lives. And it's only because that I am so thankful that all of the opportunities come, and I meet all the people that I do, and they respond to us the way that they do, and it's because we are humble and we're thankful, and so it plays a big part, and we're gonna kind of dive into it a little more later. But I just wanted to just follow up on what Michael said, which was thankfulness.
Shout out to our producer Erin, who couldn't be with us today. Yesterday was her daughter Noelle's first birthday, so she is off in that celebratory capacity, doing beautiful things with her and the family. So we love you. We miss you. We'll see you next week. Brother Andrew, welcome to the studio. Welcome to the City Monks.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we met just after our very first show down on 15th and P-ish. There's an outdoor art show, and the Spirit always draws us to certain places where we recognize things, and we saw Andrew just cranking out work over and over again. And I walk over and I say, you know what? That's how my mind is too. I just can't. My hand and the paper and the pen, you just can't stop it. And if you would have said, this is a small. And probably what I saw was only the tip of a very huge iceberg of things.
It's so much, and the house is getting full. So,
So it's time to start moving it.
It's time to start moving.
Yes.
My wife said yes. First of all, I want to, speaking of thankfulness, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for even having this opportunity to come and speak to y'all. I'm so appreciative that we met. And I really believe, like you said, these things happen for a reason. So I've been, it's funny. I just did Automatic this year.
Automatic.
Yeah, and I met this guy, and he was like, "Hey, there's a guy named Kenny. He does art rave at PN15. That's where we were." Yeah. He said, "It's a guy named Kenny. He does art rave. It's my first time doing Automatic." I said, "Okay, the guy literally came and spoke to me. I didn't say anything to him." He said, "Yeah, he may come and he's going to come and he's going to try to recruit you." So I didn't think anything else of it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And I set up everything, and I set my little book up. People came to the room, of course, and got some good and positive responses. And sure enough, I was at church. I think it was a Monday night, and I got a phone call, and Kenny said, "Hey, I think it'd be nice if you come down." He said. Well, he introduced himself. He said, "I'm with Art Rave." He said, "I think I saw your stuff. It'd be nice if you come down and set up." And sure enough, it just seems like once you start, train starts rolling. Especially being thankful over the little small things. So
That's right.
yeah,
The and there, there's a special component to art and to the artistic and to the creative, which can be felt rather than seen with that spiritual eye,
Right.
and it is the thing that allows us to continue to do a thing, even though it's unconventional, even though it's not a thing that people normally do to live, but God does provide for those of us
Man.
who seek Him and follow
yes, yeah.
follow our heart.
Yes, he does. I'm just so excited, to see what else is next. I was so when you sent me the email, man, I was just so excited, so happy. So I really, really appreciate y'all having me. I mean, this really means a whole lot.
It means a lot to us too. Andrew emailed me like the next day, and then all week I didn't until yesterday.
Yeah,
I was like last night. I was like, hey, I know I didn't get back to you, but but that's how the spirit moves, man. It keeps us connected. Operating in a different realm, not worried about well, you didn't hit me back immediately. That is the world of this world. So I do appreciate y'all coming on out.
Yeah. Definitely. I really appreciate you guys coming out, and I appreciate you bringing your wife. I love to see the love and the togetherness, and that is just a beautiful thing. And I want to say, with regard to what you said about, unconventional ways of life, or, the creative and the artistic, way of doing things. And I'll use a personal example of a story from it. Actually, the story started last night and then kind of trickled into this morning. And it seems to me, from my experience, that when you're walking a path and when you know you're on the right path, like, quote unquote, bad things are more inclined, or not unfavorable things are more inclined to happen, and it's because you're doing the good thing, and it's because you're doing the right thing. For example, yesterday evening, actually I'll just use this morning. This morning I'm leaving a class, and I don't know DC very well. Anybody who knows me knows I do not know DC very well. I'm still learning the streets. It's all very confusing to me still. So I use the GPS pretty frequently. I'm on my way here from my class, and my GPS dies.
Oh man.
No idea how to get here. I mean, I'm not driving, my sister's driving, and she's from DC, but she doesn't know the city very well either, and she's lived here her whole life. God bless you, Sister Adrienne. And so we're both like, oh my gosh, what do we do? It's like 15 minutes, I'm not here yet. I'm just like, calm, I know I'm doing the right thing. I was like, it happened because I'm doing the right thing, and I'll tell you, the devil is a liar,
Yeah.
He will try to put things in your way to
He
trip
will.
you up and try to, stop you from doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. And that's where the thankfulness for me comes in, because I have to be thankful for the good situations and the quote unquote bad situations,
You do.
because a wise person knows that he knows nothing, and I don't really know why the things happen the way that they do. All I can really do is be thankful for the good and the bad, and I made it here today. I could have very easily, gotten frustrated, gotten upset. It's a very easy and very comfortable thing to do. And once you kind of get into that space, it's really nice to kind of stay there and kind of just wallow in it and let it kind of just boil up inside, And I had to look at myself and say, why is this happening? What are my intentions? How am I going to respond? And I allowed myself to be the person to direct the situation, although I saw that something was trying to kind of turn me off.
Veer you off.
And so I was just very, very thankful for all the events this morning that brought me to this moment here right now. It's just a beautiful thing.
Great. Well, yes, we were just having that conversation just before you walked in. That
like
exact same conversation.
literally,
Yes.
same thing.
So, Brother Andrew, again, just want to kind of point out some of Brother Andrew's work down here on the bottom. We will We will leave information on our website as to how you can, we'll get with him after the show and kind of figure out how he wants to be contacted.
Cool.
And so we'll just drop that on the website. So are you from DC?
Well, I mean, and it's funny, I was born in D.C., but I was raised in Maryland. So I want to say from Prince George's County. I'll just say I'm from Prince George's County. But I come to D.C. a lot in order to, do the art shows and, check out the art scene. And it's nice. Once you get used to it, you'll enjoy it here. It'll start to get hard to get lost, So, I'm from Maryland. But I do travel here, quite a bit to, do art shows and whatnot.
When did you first feel the bite of the artistic bug?
Well, I've been drawing since I was, I want to say 4 years old. I remember my mother, I used to go in her purse, get her pen, and I get some a piece of paper. The very first thing I remember drawing was a Tony the Tiger off of a cereal box. So, yeah, I left it. It was all wonky and everything. It was terrible, and but she comes back in. She goes, she calls my father. She goes, Everett. And he's like, yeah. And she said, you just sat down and drew this? And he was like, well, no. They had no clue I drew it. I remember her calling me in there, calling Andre. And the way she looked so surprised, I thought I was in trouble or something. But she's like, did you draw this? And I was like, yeah. And she was just like, oh, my God, this is really good. They were just so excited, as a kid, to see my parents so excited for me, that meant a whole lot. I was looking like, oh, man, this is a good thing. So from there, I just kept going with it, of course, getting better and better. And then eventually, instead of drawing, other characters like Bugs Bunny or, Tom and Jerry and stuff like that, I was like, what, let me try to create something, myself. And I started, trying to get my own style and everything. So that's what started it, really.
That's an amazing story, man. And it's it goes to show the effect that a parental or trusted person response will change our lives. We sometimes overlook all the little moments.
We do. Yeah,
if
we
you
do.
had drawn that, no one saying anything.
Exactly.
Who knows the trajectory of your life? You might be sitting at a desk doing something you hate.
Man, exactly.
Working for somebody else, but that's so. I'm thankful that your parents had that response because that crossed our paths here.
Exactly, and the thing of it is, like I said earlier, it was wonky. To me, it was, once I go back and look at it, because I think she still has it on her desk. But I'm like, good, oh my goodness, I drew that, But even though, it was her, she saw, the potential, and she still gave a positive response to it. And, it's so important to, be positive, give a positive response to things that you never know, like you said, how things will turn out.
That's right. You never know, it's all a journey, getting to here doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't.
And it comes from that first positive reinforcement and practice. Van Gogh and Michelangelo, these cats weren't sculpting Davids off the break. It was a piece of clay like that they made into a duck. And they were like, "Look, Mom, it's a duck." And the mom was like, "There ain't no damn duck." But what they said was, "Oh my gosh, what a beautiful duck!"
What a beautiful,
which encouraged them to then practice and master those things. What we see at first, what our children show us, they're like, "Mom, look at this." You just never know where that will lead with the right kind of words and the right motivation, the right encouragement.
Exactly. It starts in the house, man.
That's right.
It all starts in the home.
I definitely agree with you. And, a lot of people don't have necessarily that parental support or the support from, the people they love. And so I see that in a lot of my brothers and sisters who are trying to do their own thing and trying to, find their creative niche and trying to kind of walk the off-beaten path, that a lot of them will get discouraged when they don't get that support from the family, when they don't get the support from the parents or from their friends. And, it's very important to be grounded in yourself. It was important for me to be grounded in myself, and to know that I'm following my passions. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because in the end, everybody who loves you will come around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, absolutely 100%. And so I just kind of want to put that bit of inspiration out to anybody who's, you know, trying to do their own thing and may not have that support system. That, you know, I want to be your support system from afar. And, you know, it's oftentimes the people close to us, you know, they may not be the support system that you really need. But I encourage, you know, everyone, and I had to do this, to talk to other people, talk to everybody, because a lot of the times when you talk to even strangers, they will give you that confirmation. You know, when you talk to people you see on the street, or when you talk to people at your doctor's office or at your job, you know, they will give you that confirmation. You know, they'll give you that inspiration that you might need. And so I was able to look for family, not necessarily outside of my family, but look at everyone as my family. You know, look at everybody as my brother, look at everybody as my sister. And I was able to get that support from God and the universe, and, you know, everybody that he's put here. That's why we're not here by ourselves. You know, that's why we're here with other people, because nobody can do it on their own. And so I'm just so thankful that I have everybody, you know, here with us, you know, to kind of push this thing forward and do what we're supposed to do. Yeah.
There's an old saying, I think it's, so, you know, it's biblical. It says, a prophet is not without honor except in his own home. And it's because they see who you've been, what you've done, the things that don't even really matter. And when they are looking at the things that you want to do, say your art, they're like, well, let's be practical. And their first question is, how are you going to make money? How are you going to support yourself? And they'll ask you the questions that, you know, people have asked us the questions about that too. You know, like, well, how are you going to make money? How are you going to this, that, and the third? And it's not out of a lack of love. It is out of love, but it's out of not really being able to see beyond. And so sometimes we have to be our own champion. You know, you got to get out there, and like she said, you got to let other people see, because I'm sure no one walks past you and like, you know, have
Right.
you considered working at a job
Right,
with somebody
exactly.
else? No one ever
Exactly.
says that. The
No.
only people that say that are the people who love you and are supposed to be supporting you. But, you know, we get those confirmations. We get those confirmations, man.
Right. Like you say, you most definitely have to have a dream, you know, a vision, and you know, God will lead you. The Lord will provide. Money will come. You know, it will. He'll make ways really out of no way. So you'll be so, you know, so surprised, you know, when and it's funny the way things just start to fall into place, and we're so worried about, you know, time and money, but that's, you know, that's human problems. That's
Yes.
what we worry about. You know, God constantly, you know, just provides. You know, it's funny. Before I had I bought the tent in the grid about 2 years ago, and I remember when I told Keisha, she asked me, I think, what was that, for my birthday? It was for Christmas. She said, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, give me a tent in the grid. And I promise you, I prayed about this because I've been praying about the art thing for so long. And God showed me a tent in the grid. I said, give me a tent in the grid. And I waited in there for 2 years. I've been looking around for different places to set up a venue and whatnot, or set up a little, you know, store. I'm going to call it a store for right now. I'm going to go ahead and claim it because I want to store a gallery.
Yes.
So set up a little gallery, and I bought this tent in this grid, and I lied to you not. It stayed in my garage for 2 years. So I'm like, oh, man, you know, once I started looking around, the prices was a little funny, the money. I'm like, okay, this is a bit expensive, you know. Maybe, you know, did I hear this? Is this me? You know, like, God, was that me just speaking? But, you know, I kept praying. I kept seeking Him, and eventually, like, automatic. I had no clue, you know, when Kenny called me back, he was like, hey, you know, do you have a tent? I was like, yeah. He's like, do you have a grid? He's like, yeah. He said, all right, well, you'll just be able to, you know, only thing you have to pay is, you know, this amount. And right on the nose, you know, I'm like, it's funny how God works things out, you know. It provides, you know, itself. And everything's just starting to fall into place.
So with that thankfulness, man, and what that is an exercise in patience.
True.
You know, sometimes we hear the thing, you know. But they say the voice of God ain't a thunderclap, man. It ain't
Nah.
some loud thing. It's something that
No.
it's something you gotta really shut up
You got that's the
and
thing.
listen
It,
to.
it just listen.
And even then, you know, because of the culture in which we are raised, right now, the instant gratification culture, we will go after the wrong things because it's right now. 2 years that thing sat, and all of a sudden, you know, because what we're doing is we are dealing with human stuff. We're waiting for the perfect opportunity. It costs the perfect amount. It is the right time. It looks the best. But that's when we are trying to take over the situation. But you said that thing, man. Seek.
Yeah, you gotta seek them, and
Seek
you gotta be careful too, you know, because of course, you know, we get excited, especially if you hear something, you know. Once you hear it, you like, oh man, you know, now I got to do this, now I got to do that, now I have to have this big old building. I need this gallery right now, and you gotta be careful because, you know, if you want to, you know, do too much too fast, you can step off your plan. You know, it's so much fun, you know, to start from the little things. You know, I enjoy the fact that I could look back at that Tony the Tiger picture and be like, I came from that to here. You know what I'm saying? So you got to enjoy the little things. You know, enjoy the walk. You know, don't get impatient, because you may step off the path, and then you get the stagnant state, which nobody really wants.
That's right. That's right. And I say this week after week, man. The advantage that I have that many people don't have is a partner.
Oh, my God.
And it's not just a relationship. It's not a girlfriend. It's not that. It is a partner. It is someone else with whom you share a common vision and a common goal, who walks together with you and keeps you from doing those idiotic human things, because that's what women do, man. That's what they do. They like, hold on, baby.
I know, right? It's so and nice too. You're like, no, that might not work. Real nice.
And it's never discouragement. It's always encouragement, but patience. It really does keep me. I know it keeps me from doing exactly those things that I just said. Going off onto the first thing that looks like it might be the thing that I was searching after.
Exactly.
Because the devil knows you're searching too.
Oh man,
and he'll throw that thing right in front of you.
Here you go. This is what you need.
There you go.
Right there. Look at that. Brick walls, gallery. There you go. You good. And no means will be able to be there for a day or two.
That's right. And if the Lord is going to provide that thing for you, you will not just have the thing, but you will have the means to sustain that. To
sustain it. That's how. That's the truth.
That's what we were talking about earlier, man. If it's for you, it can't be taken from you. So wait on that thing that can't be taken from you.
It cannot.
Man. So as with every week, man, if you want to be on the show, we actually our phone line is not working today, so unfortunately, Brother Williams, you're gonna have to just wrap it up. You're just gonna have to chat. So normally we have phone calls, but we have some technical difficulties.
That's cool.
So again, this is Brother Andrew Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
You go by Andy, Andrew.
Drew. A lot of people call me Drew.
Andrew or Drew Williams. And so let's talk about what you want to maybe pick one up and we can rap about it.
Absolutely. Since we talking about what was the topic? Conversation was thankfulness.
Yes.
Let's see.
Thankfulness, patience, faith.
Let's go with I like faith. All right. So let's go with don't doubt. All right. So right here. Oh, matter of fact, give me a second. You mind holding this for?
I don't mind holding this at all. Great, because I can see it too.
And I know we're all familiar with the what's my computer come up?
Oh, no. So this is the piece.
Yeah.
It's Don't Doubt. And it's pretty much a lot of people know the story about when Jesus walked on water, and it's a pretty popular story, but a very, very powerful message. And it's we was just talking about seeking God, and how it's easy to, get sidetracked or taken off of course. So, Jesus is walking on water, the disciples in the boat, and they see him out there, walking on water, and they don't fully recognize him at first. They're like, oh man, it's a ghost, so they get scared, but Jesus lets them know it's me. And Peter asked, well, Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you, and I could walk. I will walk on water. And Peter actually started to walk on water towards him for a split second. But then eventually, fear set in. Like if sets in, it can set in for a lot of us, especially when we're doing something that seems so impossible, and he eventually started to sink. So, of course, Jesus reached down, saved him, picked him back up, and, he told him, so little faith. And the very few steps that Peter was able to take was just like, wow, I can do anything as long as I stay focused or stay seeking him or stay seeking his face. And a lot of my artwork is now, really, I try to sum it up, like really to like 2 words, maybe in a bubble. So it says, don't doubt. And just don't doubt where you're going, pretty much that's it. Yeah.
So, do you have a name for the style that you use? Have you coined?
I've got a lot of my work. I like a lot of graffiti. I like cartooning. I did a cartoon in my school newspaper a while back. But it's just, cartooning, graffiti. I like the pop out colors. So I try to, combine everything into one style. And this is what I got, and thick black lines, a lot of bright colors, and just a few words.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to touch on. I really, really love the don't doubt message, and that is one of my favorite stories about Jesus and walking on water, and it really resonates with me because there was a point in my life. I'm sure we all, where we're in doubt. And it seems that when we're in doubt, when one doubt comes and we listen to that doubt, then all the other doubts come.
Yeah,
It's like a barrage of doubts. Once we listen to that first one, it's like, oh, you're listening? Okay, wait, there's more.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I had to kind of just be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to doubt. I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to pitter-patter, because just like, the Bible says, a man cannot serve 2 masters. I had to make that decision for myself that I was going to walk this path and I wasn't going to have doubts about it. Because I just have to have that trust and I have to have that faith that I'm doing the right thing. And I'll give an example about, more recently I overcame some personal fears of mine. Michael and I spend a lot of our time walking around DC, and we make it a point to talk to just about everybody that we see, and we make it a point to talk to the homeless people that we see. And so I found myself kind of talking to some homeless people, but other people I would just walk by and kind of acknowledge like I didn't see them, basically because I felt that fear. I was like, man, I don't even know what to say. Like, someone who's laid out or someone who's just really, really in that depression, it's like, man, what do I say to that person? Or how do I go up to them, And not only did I have those doubts about my own abilities, but I wasn't even trying. I just walked by, and I'd wait for the easy thing or the easy person to talk to or the easy person to try to help. And so in that kind of revelation, I realized that I do have all the answers inside. I do have everything that I need, and everything really is on the tip of my tongue. All I have to do is open my mouth and speak. All I have to do is put some action, where my faith is, because faith without works is dead. Exactly. And so, now we can talk to everybody and anybody because I'm just like, I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If the only thing I say is I love you, brother, then that's all I say. But it's, it's something. you know. And so I got over those doubts, and it seems really hard when you're on the other side. But once you cross that threshold, I look back and I'm like, man, what was I tripping about? Like, why was I doubting myself, you know? And so it's just an amazing thing to kind of to see this and to have that same message. And you know, it really shows the humanity in all of us, because these are stories, and you know, these are things that we all go that we all go through, you know, and that we all have issues with. And that's why I'm so avid, you know, to talk about it. You know, I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about all of it, because lots of people think that, you know, they're in this thing alone. You know, they're the only ones. And so just like Michael said, I have a very valuable thing, which is a partner, and I'm just super thankful for that.
We you know, the thing is, it's a two-way street. You know, we are all in this together. We're all one, and those who are seeking what we seek will find their way right into our path. You know, we will run across some because they will give us strength, and we will run across some because they need the strength that we have been given.
That's true.
You know, I one of the things that used to concern me a lot before I cleaned up my Facebook timeline was there was a lot of, I don't want to deal with nobody who's not on my level. And the thing is, if everyone felt like that, then no one would help us rise to the next level.
That's facts, man.
There are people that have been in my life that have allowed me growth in unimaginable ways. And if those people were like, I don't want to be bothered if someone's not on my level, then they would never have spoken to me. They would never have given to me of their overflow, because they wouldn't have talked to me because I wasn't on their level.
Right.
And so that is, I realized as I walked here from Gallery Place. I took the D6 bus down to Gallery Place, where I met a beautiful brother named Michael Spector Jr. And he walked right up to me. It was one of our displaced citizens of DC, one of our DC. And he just came up to me, introduced himself to me, and I don't know, like I was almost in tears, man, because I could see that he was seeking something, you know. Many, you know, as I walk, they say many are called, but few are chosen. Many will be called, but very few will heed the call, which means everyone doesn't want to be saved.
No, they don't.
You know,
that's
but you'll know who they are, because they will fall right into your lap when I started working on salvation. Those people fell right into my lap, and it confirms lots of things. Peter became, even after this, Peter became the rock. You know, Jesus said, upon this rock will I build my church. Peter, in Latin, Pietra is rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his name is Pietro. You know, so Peter, the rock. And he lost nothing by having wavered in his faith on that water.
Right.
As a matter of fact, like
Right.
you said, he gained so much just by feeling the touch, the very tip of the ability of power that we are endued with. You know, Jesus said, you will do these things and much, much greater.
Yeah.
These things and much greater. And so he just got a glimpse of it, but it was enough to lock him in.
Man.
You know, he wasn't condemned for that.
That's all you need.
He wasn't condemned for denying at the end. None of the things that we do are are largely meaningless. You know, we can't get hung up on what we have done, because what we have done is done. We cannot undo that which has been done. But the path that we walk, our heart, our heart really directs us. Our heart, the spirit, man. And so yes, this was a very good piece to have picked, and I'm glad you picked this.
Before I left this morning, I was thinking about it. I was like, dang, I want to, because I was nervous. I'm like, good grief, you know. Then when I saw the cameras and everything, I said, oh, we're actually on, you know, this is actually,
It's
you know,
going
this is live, it's going down. And, you know, I was praying, and, you know, sweet voice, just don't doubt I got you, you know. Go ahead, it's going to go. And I grabbed a piece, and, you know, I grabbed some more paintings. I thought I had another one in here I was looking for. Must have left it in the car, but, you know, this is the very first one. And when I was thinking about the conversation, you know, we had when we first met, you know, on the street, I was very first thing I was thinking, like, don't doubt, you know, like, y'all got this. So, you know, I'm so happy for y'all. You know, y'all gonna do big things. So
We appreciate that, and we receive that, and we speak that to you also, and that's why you're here today. You know, this is the beginning for both of us of a journey that will be both fantastic and terrible. And when I say when I say terrible, I mean it in like an Old Testament sense. Old Testament King James. They say God is a wrathful and terrible. Not terrible as in bad as we have, you know, but it will be one that will test us day after day.
Oh, yeah.
It will test us.
You
It will
will
test
struggle.
our partners. And but you know, here we are.
you will struggle. You most definitely gonna struggle.
So you know, thank you for coming in today. We are gonna wrap the show up early today, if that's all right with you. We got about 20 more minutes, but we're not gonna force it. You know, we had a great show today. I want to thank Keisha and Andrew for coming in. Andrew Williams, are you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
I got Instagram. It's is it Fire in My Bones? It's Fire in My Bones, and good grief, I just had to write it down because
That's
it's like
okay.
a 3 instead of an E, you know. So it's Fire in My Bones.
FIR3.
INMYBONES.
Okay. All right, we are gonna put that put that right on the website because we want to help this brother be encouraged and walk the path that has been set for him without, you know, and we as brothers and sisters are meant to do this. We are meant to be a source of encouragement constantly to one another
That's
because
facts.
we have plenty of negativity coming to us.
That's true.
Day after day after day after day. We got plenty. And so we as brothers and sisters, and they say, how do you know my brothers and you know my sisters? Because they do the will of our Father.
It's true.
And so
It's true.
our brothers and sisters, encourage one another, support one another, be a rock for one another because we are what we got.
That's it.
We're all that we got. We're all that we got. So I just want to thank you two again for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. It's just, I love seeing beautiful people, beautiful smiles in the studio. It's my favorite thing, you know, and just what Michael said, I just want to end off this show, you know, definitely we have to support each other, you know, and so if there's anything that someone takes from this show today, just say a kind word to your brother, your sister. Give somebody that you know or don't know some support that they you know, that they need, but something that you maybe have thought about saying, or someone you've maybe been thought about supporting or something. And it could be verbal support, it could be monetary support, it could be support with being in somebody's presence. But I just want to extend that to our listeners and to our family. Really, you guys are our family. To our family, to kind of exercise that during the week. Yeah.
So thank you, Max. You always
Thank you.
you're a beast. Max been gone for wedding season. It's good to see him back though. It is wedding season. So yes, definitely encourage one another. There's so many old adages that we don't even, that just kind of go over our heads, and I know my grandmother used to say, she said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing
it. Don't even
at
open
all.
your mouth.
Because you know our words are far more powerful than we have
That's true.
let ourselves
That's
believe.
true.
Everything that exists. You look outside in the world, all these massive buildings, these cars, these cell phones. Before they were these things,
It's a
they
word.
were an idea, and then they were a word. That's right. They were a word, and now they have manifested. Words manifest. Words are powerful. So say kind words to your brothers and sisters. If you can't think of something kind to say, just say peace. Peace, brother. Peace, sister. All right. Any closing words,
No,
brother
man.
Andrew, Drew
No.
Williams?
Yeah, no.
Keisha, you got anything to say? All
Most
right.
definitely.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
we love
thanks
y'all,
so
and
much.
this
Love you too,
ain't the
brother.
last time. All right. So we'll see you next time.
All right. See you next time.